everybody. Today we're going to be looking at converting fractions. The first thing that we're going to start with is we're going to convert improper fractions to a mixed number fraction. Now an improper fraction, first of all, is where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So if we have a look, we've got something like 15 quarters or 12 eighths or 13 halves, anything like that, where the numerator, the top number, is bigger than the denominator. That's what we call an improper fraction. A mixed number fraction is where we have wholes and then a fraction. So for instance, we might have 2 3/4, or 5 7/8, or even 14 2/3. So we have our whole number, and then we have our fraction as well. So these are mixed number fractions and these are improper fractions. The first thing we're going to look at is converting the improper fractions to the mixed number fractions. And there's a couple of ways that you can do this. The first step that you can do is you can use little drawings or little diagrams to help you. So if I had something like, for instance, 14 thirds, okay? I know that my denominator is 3, so each of my wholes are going to be split into 3 equal parts, so I can use that to help me with my diagrams. And I can draw just a simple bar, split it into 3, and I've got 1, 2, 3, one whole there. Draw a second bar, because I've not hit my 14 yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's another whole. I can continue. 7, 8, 9, that's another whole. Still splitting it into 3 equal parts each time. 10, 11, 12, that's another whole. And then splitting another bar into 3 equal parts. Now I've got to 12 here. I know that I want 14 parts coloured in. So I've got 12, 13, 14. So when I get to this last one, I don't have a whole bar coloured in. I've got a fraction coloured in, and 2 out of my 3 equal parts are shaded. So I would write that as 2 out of my 3 are shaded in. So I've got 2 thirds. So then I want to convert it into the whole mixed number fraction. And all I'm going to do at this point is simply to look at how many wholes I've got. I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I have 4 wholes. And then my final bar is 2 thirds. I've got 2 out of the 3 coloured in. So I'll convert that into 2 thirds. And my mixed number fraction, from being 14 thirds, has now become 4 2 thirds. Okay, so that's how we can use our diagrams to help us. We look at that denominator, we split our bars into that number of equal parts, and then we shade in until we've got the numerator. And we should end up with some that are wholes, and then you'll probably end up with something that is a fraction of the whole. Now, another way of doing that is to use our division skills, because fundamentally that's what you've done, is you've divided. So if we go back to that 14 thirds, what we've actually said is 14 divided by 3 is equal to. Okay, so we've taken our numerator and we're dividing that by our denominator. So I can do that in a couple of ways. I could use my diagrams again, but if I've moved on to this, I'm probably going to know my 3 times table. And the quickest way, then, most efficient method, is to write down your 3 times table down the side. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. I'm going to stop there because actually I've got to get to 14, so I've gone beyond. So whatever you're dividing by, that's the times table that you can write down the side to help you to remember. Now I've got 14 divided by 3 is equal to, so I'm going to count how many lots of 3 I can get into 14. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there I've got to stop, because if I go to 5, I've got to 15, I've gone too far. So I can only get to 12 to make 4 equal groups of 3. Okay, so I've got 4 there, 1, 2, 3, 4, but I haven't got to 14 yet. I've got to 12. I can't go to 15 because that's too many. So I've got to see how many I've got left after 12, and I'm going to put that over my denominator. So if I've got 12 in my head and I count on 13, 14, I've got another 2 parts, 2 out of the 3. So that's going to become my 2 out of my 3. So you can see there we've got back to our 4 and our 2/3. Okay, so that's 2 different methods that you can use to convert from an improper fraction to a mixed number fraction. Hope that helps.